And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fleming Film Talk with me, Robbie Fleming, and joining me as always is Justin Doyle. Hello, Justin.
Hey, Rob. What's up, buddy?
Not much, not much. Because you said about talking about least favorite movies, I thought about doing something a bit more different. I thought about talking about overrated movies because I've already spoken about my least favorite films to you, with obviously the Golden Mushrooms and stuff. But I just want to talk about them films that were good movies and were like really praised and hyped that I just didn't really, or you didn't think was that good.
That's right. Yeah. So these are good movies.
Yeah,
You
these are all
know,
good. All five of mine are good movies. I just didn't think much to them.
same, same.
Yeah,
And yeah, like none of them are going to be on my top 10 of
no.
2022. And I just
But none of them are going to beat your bottom.
no, and none of them would be at the bottom. No.
Yeah,
These
same.
are
None
these
of
are all
them.
great films, and some of them very highly praised. I just didn't. I don't get it. So we're gonna see
Okay,
what
okay.
those
If I
are.
like any of these movies, just let me explain why. And if you like any of these movies, I'll be fair and let you respond why you like them.
Yeah, great.
But if we're both
Sounds good.
if we both have the same opinion, we can talk about we can still talk about it.
Sure.
Right, you ready
Oh,
for my number five?
let's hear it.
My number five is a movie I was really hyped for because it won a big award. It was by a really good director, had a really good cast behind it, had a really good concept. But for me, it just wasn't the film I was expecting. And when I watched the movie, I sort of thought there were some things that could have been better done. For example, one of the supporting characters was a really interesting character and should have been one of the leads. And it's told in three different chapters, but one of the chapters is quite shorter than the other, and it does have a bit of a pacing issue. But what I'm talking about is the winner of the Palme d'Or this year, Triangle of Sadness. Have you seen this one before, Justin? You need to turn your mic back on.
Okay. Sorry, the dogs were going crazy.
That's all right.
Yes, I have seen this movie, and I disagree with you.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Fair
tell
enough.
me why you dislike it so much, or why it's overrated.
I think that the screenplay felt more like vignettes rather than a full fleshed out story. And I did like some of the comedy, like when the shipwreck happens and when Woody and the Russian guy having that argument about politics. That was funny, but it didn't really feel like it was like a clear narrative. It just kind of just felt like they were focusing on some different characters and different situations, and sometimes just using them to either pass off a running joke or try and say something about today's political stance, because the whole film is about politics and the rich and is all like taking the mick out of it all. And I have nothing against this writer slash director. He's a talented person and he does know how to make a good satire after watching. So I watched The Square just before that, which satirizes that, and I thought he did clever in that.
Hmm.
And Harris Dickinson, obviously, as you know, was my winner of the breakout star of this year. He put in a good performance, and so did the other lady who is sadly no longer with us. But the two performances that steal it for me are the man that plays the Russian guy and the woman that played the maid. I kind of wish them two were the main characters instead of the models. The models should have been supporting leads, and I don't really think you needed Woody Harrelson for a 10-minute role.
He's so good.
He is really good. He's one of the best, but his role could have been played by somebody supporting.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Caine in Tenet. The big name doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, Dolly De Leon is the one who seems like she becomes the main character.
Yes, I
And
wish she was the
she's
main character throughout the film.
she's been getting a lot of buzz, maybe Oscar stuff. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. What did you like about this movie?
I mean, first of all, it's hilarious. Really, really, really
Yeah.
funny. And, for it being such a serious sort of topic, it's about the elite and the rich. And, they go on this fancy boat and, there's an excited crew that's so happy to help them out wherever they need. And something happens where the roles flip and the bottom become the ones who need to, rise to the top. And then the other ones are kind of looking for them for sort of
Yeah.
guidance. And I just like the parallels. I mean, this is what it is sort of like in the world today and how things are, where the rich only are do well because they have money. They wouldn't be able to handle themselves outside of a rich
Yeah,
atmosphere.
I got that part of the movie.
No, I know, I understand. I'm not saying that you didn't. I'm just saying this is parts of the reasons why I really liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, slam in the face to the rich because just because you have money doesn't make you a good
I
person.
thought they did it better in the menu.
Hmm.
Have you seen
It's
that one
definitely
yet?
I have. It's definitely shorter than this one, but not as funny. Definitely not as funny. Triangle Sadness
What
is
bit more darker. The
yeah,
menu. Yeah.
and it makes you think of s'mores in different lights now.
Can deal with a small right now.
Hell yeah. I like Triangle Sadness. It's gonna be on my top 10 for sure.
Oh, good. I'm not stopping other people from like it, but
Yeah.
if you like to, you can read out the scores in the box office.
Yeah, box office it was a 10 million euro budget. Worldwide gross 19.5 million. So I guess that's good. I don't really know the euro.
For an art film, it's not that bad.
Yeah. 7.5 on IMDb, 72% on Rotten Tomatoes with the audience score of 73.
That sounds very accurate.
Go a little bit higher given the 80s, a little bit, not by much, but
Yeah.
yeah, good movie, and I think you're not the only one who thinks that way.
No, my friend who I went with, he didn't think much to it either. In fact, he was a bit more critical about it than I was, but I was trying to have more of an open mind.
Yeah, and for a movie to win the Palme d'Or and then have it be something that's not highly acclaimed and recognized is really
Just
interesting.
about
So
to say, nobody talks about Titane, and that movie was awesome.
yeah, definitely. All right, my number 5 is just a movie that I was very excited for, looking forward to it. And it's not necessarily overrated because I feel like everyone has this sort of same feeling about it. But for me to really want to see something and have it just be something that I just didn't really care for, and I thought it could have been so much better. It was overhyped more than it was overrated. But it's just one that not even as a kid, I don't think I would enjoy as much. But think it ended up on some of your worst lists of the year. And speaking of year, it's part of the title, and it's called Lightyear. The hype and the overrated before it even became something for people to see. It was already pumped up, and then you see it, and you're like, well, this isn't exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It had some fun moments to
Can
it.
I
The
ask you a
animation,
really random question?
good. Yeah.
Don't you feel like the voice performance Chris Evans is going on feels like he's playing Chris Evans playing Buzz Lightyear, not Chris Evans is playing Buzz Lightyear.
Well, yeah, because you have the iconic Tim Allen voice. I mean, he tried to mimic it still, and if you're gonna do that, you might as well just
So
get
that's why he
Tim
feels
Allen.
like a caricature of the character rather than the character itself.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it just was already overrated before it came out. It was something that was
Yeah.
super acclaimed. People
Uh,
really, were looking
didn't
forward
make
to it.
much money.
Yeah, it didn't make much money. I don't know, is it on Disney Plus yet?
Yes, it is. It is.
I think they really
It is.
shot it out. It did pretty good though for the $200 million budget. It made 226.4 million. But
That's
with all the money that they put out into marketing, I don't think they made their money back.
that's not the
Um,
type of money or reviews I want to see from
mhm.
Pixar. Because see, this is the problem with Pixar. Pixar have had a problem with their movies. They have not made a film that's made me feel their magic since Soul.
You are wrong, sir. Luca.
I'm not a fan of Luca. You know this.
Anyway, Lightyear just is something that kind of came and went. Something that was supposed to be so much better than it was, and it just fell flat.
I,
6
don't you just
point.
hate the reveal as well?
No, I mean it's all kind of it all kind of goes together. It all is. I mean, I didn't hate it because it's like, yeah, it's par for the course for this movie. 6.0 on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, on IMDb, and then on Rotten Tomatoes, 74% and 84% audience score. So I think they like this one a little bit better than we did.
And it's. I did give it a 4 out of 5 star rating because I did like its animation and its score, and the other voice acting was fine. Taika Waititi was basically playing himself.
And Kiki Palmer.
Kiki Palmer, well, she was better in Nope this year.
Yeah,
Is it Kiki Palmer or Kiki Lane? I get them two mixed up.
Kiki Palmer.
Kiki Palmer.
Mm.
She's always getting work. She's like Nicolas Cage.
Well, now she is. She's been around for a while. She's just now getting the movie roles.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4 was a movie that was definitely overhyped. It is based on an award-winning book, which I never heard of. Also stars Harris Dickinson, and it's Where the Crawdads Sing.
Tell us about this movie.
So this is a movie about a woman who's kind of raised herself in this swamp, and she's formed these relationships with the people in the town. The two that they mainly focus on is this really nice boy and uh, this jock kind of lad who Harris Dickinson plays. And with this movie, from the trailer, it felt like it was going to be a murder mystery. And the opening scene is one of the characters in her past is killed off, and the whole movie is about her trial and about her past, about her relationships, why her family left her, how she's raised herself through the swamp for years, and what's led up to why this lad has been mysteriously killed. And I'll wait till you're back, but basically,
I'm listening. Keep going. I'm
oh,
listening.
sorry, no worries. And I didn't really think this movie. I knew this movie wasn't going to be my thing when I went in. I literally went on a day I was bored and had nothing to do. And literally, there was only like 3 of us in the theatre, me, my friend, and another person in the back. And I swear that like, every time there was like a really boring moment, me and him would just go on our phones and just browse the internet till something fun, till something good popped up. Like this is one of the most boringest movies I've ever seen in a cinema. Like, I just felt like I would have just been rather home watching an action movie or an actual engaging murder mystery. I mean, in terms of filmmaking, I'd say the directing is fine, and so is the cinematography. The two stand-up performances for me are Daisy Edgar Jones, who plays the lead role, and obviously because he's an Academy Award nominated actor, David Strain, And because he's not like a well-known actor, he's more of a character actor. He's just in general a good actor, and that them two are the best performances you're going to see in the movie. But yeah, and obviously the Taylor Swift song was pretty cool at the end. But yeah, this was overhyped. This had a lot of hype because of how popular the book was. So they made the movie, so they rushed the movie and just made it a bit of a boring mess. Did you see this one?
I did, and I agree. I think it just was hyped because of how good the book was, and then like it was one of the first. So this book is a part of Reese Witherspoon's book club, kind of like Oprah had hers.
Oh, that's why she produced the movie.
Yeah, and this is the first of the movie's renditions of the books that she has on her sort of line there. So this was supposed to be like a huge hit, and I mean, it did really well in theaters because people went to go see it, and then when they saw it, they're like, "Well, this isn't as good as the book at all." I haven't read the book, so I'm not really sure, but
no, I've never read the book.
But yeah, it was pretty popular. People wanted to see it, just didn't work out the way that it did. It's a sweet little film.
I'm glad Cody's not with us today because he doesn't like this. He hates this movie more than I do. And I know he doesn't like to trash movies, but I know he probably wouldn't say nice words about this movie.
Yeah, it's fine. Nothing really, memorable about it.
Only two good performances and the Taylor Swift song.
Right, which could be up for best song at the Oscars.
Rihanna, Gaga, and Swift at the Oscars. That'd be awesome.
Well, it also could be Joe Jonas and from the movie Devotion, and then also The Weeknd from the Black Panther. So we have it could be a star-studded Oscars there.
Well, I love The Weeknd, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's great. 7.1 on IMDb. 24. Yeah, well, listen to this: $24 million budget, worldwide gross $140 million. So definitely made its money back. 34% on Rotten Tomatoes, but 96% for the audience. That is crazy. All right.
Right. Yeah, what's your number 4?
My number 4, again, what we've talked about. This isn't a bad movie. It's a very good movie. I just think it's not as good as people think that it is. Unfortunately, because of the movies that came before it, it really kind of just feels like we've seen it before. Definitely because it's a sequel, and I'm talking about Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yes, I personally think that this film wasn't as good as the first one.
Definitely not as good as the first one, but also it's just, what I've said before is like it just doesn't. I know people like this. It doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. The movie itself is very, very well made, but we've seen the blue people, because of Avatar. We've seen sort of this war between different countries, obviously, and living situations, and I just wasn't really threatened by the villain in this one, and it just kind of fell a little flat, but it's very well made. I love the the Chadwick Boseman sort of homage, and
I cried at 2 scenes.
Yeah. But the performance in this movie is very, very good. That's, Angela Bassett. She's killing it. She's winning all the awards, and she totally
really
deserves
think she
it.
could win the Oscar?
I definitely think she could win the Oscar.
Okay. Explain to me logically how Tony Leung did not get nominated last year when he put on the best performance in a Marvel film ever.
He got overlooked.
Do they not like Hong Kongers or Asians the Academy Awards? Because clearly they don't, because Parasite won Best Picture.
Yeah.
So why couldn't they nominate Tony? What has Tony ever done to the Academy?
Well, for supporting actor?
Yeah.
I just think it was a big year.
This is why the Academy needs to recognize my awards.
Man, you really think highly of that. Troy
We had a
Kotsur.
stunt award in my awards. Why are the Oscars so behind?
I don't know. I don't know. It's been going on for 70 plus years, so they must be doing something right. But there's no way that Tony was gonna come close to what Troy Kotsur did in Coda. There's
I
no
didn't
way.
see Coda when I did my Fleming Award nomination, so that
Well,
probably
see,
been different if I watched
it,
Coda. If I watched
it
Coda,
exactly. So, you just didn't see all the films yet. And that's what you need to do before you do your awards. Your awards should come out after the Oscars because that means would have seen most of the 2022 films or 2021 films. Yours should come right after because then you're not giving all the movies a chance because unfortunately you don't get a chance to see them in time. But anyway, Angela Bassett is a way better actress than Tony Leung has ever done in his entire career. So that's another reason why
I'm not arguing that they're. Why are you even comparing them? One's a
because
male,
you're
one's a female, one's African American, one's a Hong Konger. They're in different
one.
leagues.
We're only talking about acting here, brother, and she is way better of an actress than he is an actor. That's
You've
all I'm
only
saying.
seen him in one movie.
And
Angela Bassett's mainly a TV actress, so you probably have only seen her in Black Panther.
are you kidding? She's been around for like 3 decades. She's already won a Golden Globe. This was her second. I mean,
Okay, granted.
she's legendary.
Justin,
She's
she's also
legendary.
won my Fleming Awards for the film Strange Days. Have you ever seen that?
I've not seen Strange Days.
All right, go and see Strange Days as Orbit's message, and you'll get the gist of what I'm telling you. That she should have got nominated for that movie and won for that movie in 1995.
This is all opinion, brother. So that's why and it actually will come down to everyone else's opinion because she will be up and possibly win for supporting actress. And Tony Leung was never even in the breath of an Oscar. There's a reason for it, and that's the way that goes. Ryan Coogler did a great job writing and directing this movie.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant.
But I think this is one of his weaker efforts in creating.
I need to see Fruitvale Station.
Absolutely,
I've not seen his.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fine film, and I know everyone's loving it, just not hitting me where it needs to be.
Awesome cameo, though.
Yeah, and now we've seen a new version of all the old school, superheroes. We've seen newer
not seen a
versions
female Doctor Strange yet.
Well, we have barely even seen a regular Doctor Strange.
What are you talking about? We've seen 5 different Doctor Stranges.
Oh, in one movie?
Yeah.
He wasn't in one of the originals, so that's another word
Neither
that
was
I said
Black
in there.
Panther.
Well, we had to force a woman one on this one, or another version of it on this one. It was never going to happen this time. And if he didn't die, this movie would have been completely different. It would never be the way that it was. We never would have met the characters that we did. And
Namor was going to appear in this movie no matter what. That's what Ryan Coogler said the other day.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what we were just talking about, which is the new iterations of old superheroes. So,
yeah.
Any hoot, do you want to keep bickering about this stupid movie, or shall we move on?
Do you want to give the ratings first?
Thank you. $250 million budget, 837 worldwide. That is a huge hit. 7.2 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 84% with an audience score of 94. Yes. Fine film, just a little overhyped.
Yes. My number 3 is more of a performance-driven piece, but it's by one of. Okay, I do apologize about the whole Nicole Kidman thing now because I assumed a Nicole Kidman film would be in your. And it's surprised that a movie by one of my favorite actors is in this movie. This is his first film since Hubie Halloween. Adam Sandler stars in Hustle.
Mm-hmm. Just got nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award.
Yes, yes, and I'm surprised that they're not nominate. They're not trying to get him an Oscar nomination for this film yet.
He doesn't deserve it. He's way better in Uncut Gems than he is in Hustle, and
Yes,
it's
definitely. I'd also
just
argue that
doesn't
he's
deserve
better
it.
in Punch Drunk Love.
You love to argue, so let's hear it.
Yes, yeah. So Hustle, he's a struggling basketball scout who finds a player from Spain and trying his hardest to get him into the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Queen Latifah, Ben Foster, and Robert Duvall are also in this film. And yeah, Adam Sandler was brilliant in it, no doubt about that. I just didn't find the film as entertaining compared to his other movies. Like when I go into an Adam Sandler movie, I expect to be entertained, whether it's silly or serious. And this movie just kind of struggled to entertain me.
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed the movie itself. I think he did a great job, but never when I was watching it would I, as a Screen Actor Guild, person myself.
I'm not going to argue why he should have got nominated for Punch Drunk Love this time.
Okay, I'm gonna try to finish one thought before you cut me off.
Sorry.
It's all right. I like the movie. I think Adam Sandler is a great performance, but as a Screen Actors Guild, person here, I never was like, oh, I'm for sure gonna nominate him for a Screen Actors Guild for Best Actor. He's great. And just when you've seen better performances from him, you just, those are the ones you think of. Those are the ones that you think that you should be nominated for. And this one, I don't feel it. But I did enjoy the basketball player, the Juancho Hernan Gomez. He portrayed Bo Cruz in the film. I thought he did a really good job
Yeah,
as a
yeah, he
first
was
time
good.
actor.
It's weird to see
Um,
Queen Latifah and Adam Sandler as a couple.
yeah. Have they done it before? Yeah, but it's believable. They were cute together, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I like her. I think she's great, and of course Robert Duvall's
Oh, she's
always
great.
good. And then Ben Foster, man, what an actor! Have you tried watching Emancipation yet?
Emancipation.
The Will Smith movie.
Oh no, not yet.
Yeah, he's crazy in
I
that
like
one.
other films with him in though. I like Hell or High Water.
Hmm. That's a good one. He just did one, The Survivor. That was an HBO or
I
Apple TV.
wanted to watch that one with him playing Lance Armstrong.
Mm.
The program.
The program, yeah. This one's a boxing movie, The Survivor. But yeah, he's really good. He's a crazy, crazy actor. There's a moment that's just popped on the screen on IMDb from he was in Alpha Dog with Justin Timberlake. It was really sadistic. He plays sadistic really well.
Did you see Hostage?
I don't think
Bruce Willis
so.
film from
Oh
2005.
yes, I have seen Hostage.
He's brilliant in that.
Yeah, he's in the X-Men movie.
Yep.
He's great. Well, I bet he wins an Oscar one day. Maybe
Oh, he will.
supporting role, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely supporting.
Let's see how Hustle did overall. 7.3 in IMDb. Don't know if it had much of a released on Netflix, so it doesn't have any box office.
Then shouldn't that technically be not allowed for Oscars then?
No, because movies that are released, I mean, it's still it might have had like a week. Well, maybe it's not
Well,
actually.
it was in selected theatres in June for a week.
Yeah, but I guess there's just no box office for it. The critics and the audience agree at 93% for Hustle. Let's see if I can do a quick box office for Hustle real quick. No. The Hustle came up. Let's see if Wiki says anything. Budget was 21 million. That's all it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens at the Oscars. I don't think it's gonna do
No,
anything past.
I don't. I can't see Adam Sandler beating Brendan Fraser, Austin Butler, or Colin Farrell. They're the three big ones this year.
Yeah. He likes basketball, doesn't he, Adam?
Yeah. Sport in general.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his films involve sport.
Yes. All right. My number 3 is, again, just a movie that I was like, God, I can't wait to see this movie. And then you see it and you're like, oh, man, this wasn't what I wanted or what I expected. And then it's sort of the same thing where we've seen so much good from this person that we're like, oh, well, then this should be like the best movie ever. And then it's just not. It's gonna be up for Best Picture, Best Director, maybe a couple supporting acts, and it's called The Fabelmans.
Oh, don't ruin it for me because I really want to watch it.
Well, here's what happens. No, directed and co-written by Steven Spielberg. Of course, this is the movie or the movie about his life and how he grew up and how he fell in love with film. I'm a huge Steven Spielberg fan. So I just was like, oh, okay, well, this is about his life. I mean, it's going to be so personal, and let's see how it rocks out. And it just didn't rock out the way that I wanted it to.
It looks shot really well.
Yeah, well, there's no denying that Steven Spielberg is a great filmmaker. There's just no, of course, everything that he does is the best, the best movies. Out there. He's always getting nominated, at least for Best Picture, for his movies. They get up there. Whether they deserve it or not is always, the question. But this one I just don't think is deserved. Unfortunately, this is not going to be my top 10. Something that I looked so forward to and just really fell flat for me. I know I'm wrong about it. Of course, it's winning awards. He just won the Best Golden Globe.
I hope he wins Best Director this Oscars.
Why? You haven't even seen the movie. How do you even know?
Because of what you said about Will Smith last year, that he deserved it. Doesn't Spielberg deserve this one? Doesn't he deserve to be the greatest director of all time for telling his life story? But if Kenneth Branagh can win the Oscar, surely Spielberg can.
No, he won an Oscar for writing. So, Kenneth Branagh, and this is not Spielberg's best, and I don't care if he's my favorite.
Do you think King Richard was Will Smith's best?
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
Well, definitely.
I think it's definitely up there. It's one of his better performances for sure. He carried that movie. There's no doubt. It was kind of whatever, otherwise.
It had a good screenplay.
It was okay. And apparently, he nailed his performance because that's how the dad was.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I don't know. But the ways that this movie sort of fell flat is like there's storyline of him being bullied at school and stuff, and it just didn't really make any sense.
I'm pretty sure everybody's been bullied, Justin.
Exactly. So why show it? Why? We know you were bullied. You're kind of a nerd, right? You just love movies. You're not, paying attention to the other world out there. Like, of course, and I just didn't think it was necessary. It didn't add anything to the storyline. It didn't make it feel any better. With the plot, this movie is all about the family, and I think it should have stayed there.
Yeah.
But 7.7 on IMDb, which is fantastic. This isn't, though. $40 million budget with a $20.2 million gross worldwide.
How is Steven Spielberg's name not selling movies like James Cameron's name?
Well, he only comes out with one every 12 years.
Literally.
So he, if it took Spielberg 12 years to make The Fablemans, I'm sure it'd be something that everyone would go out to
He
see.
could have made it like Boyhood.
Ooh, that sounds fun. 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 82% audience score. I would give it a little bit lower, but yeah, Michelle Williams miscast. I hear she looks just like her. Okay, cool. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a good actress for her. On de Armas, like you kind of looked like her, but you didn't sound like her whatsoever.
How do you know what Spielberg's mother sounds like?
No, wait, what?
I said, how do you know what Spielberg's mother sounds like?
No, I just think she was like miscast. I said that about Ana de Armas. I didn't say it about Michelle Williams. I think she was just miscast. She didn't do a good job portraying the mother just because she looks like her.
Would you have had to carry Mulligan instead?
No, because that's your fantasy, not mine.
Because Family Guy made a joke about Michelle Williams and Carey Mulligan looking exactly alike.
Well, then it must be the truth. If Family Guy said it, it must be the truth. I know I'm in the minority. The Fablemans just didn't hit me in the way that it should have because I'm such a huge fan of movie making and of Steven Spielberg. So it's unfortunate that didn't work. As long as you're not trying to
put me off the movie, that's fine.
You should see it. No one should go based off of my opinion. You should see it because it's a Steven Spielberg film.
Yes.
And I'd rather see West Side Story again.
Well, I might rewatch that before I watch The Fablemans.
Can't wait to hear your thoughts July of 2023 about The Fablemans.
Yep, you'll be hearing them.
What's your number 2?
A movie by also a great director that I like, and his last movie actually blew me away. This is Noah Baumbach's return, and this is White Noise.
This sort of falls into the category of the Lightyear, where it was overhyped.
Yep.
Before it came out and overrated before it came out, and then when you see it, you're like, oh well, nobody's loving this movie.
No,
nobody is loving this movie.
No.
Tell us about it.
So Adam Driver plays a professor in Hitler studies. That's right, a professor in Hitler studies. And the town he lives in is being contracted by radiation. And because the movie was that much of a drag and a bore, I kind of forgot what happened.
Well, it's based off of a book, and it's about a family that's living through the time where, a huge...
The only good thing about this movie is the dance they do at the
end. But yeah, it's about it's really about death. This movie's about death.
Yes. Which is handled better in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Spoiler. But yeah, this movie's about death. It's based off a book. I hear that the book is like way better. And then when the visuals come through, it's, I see what Noah Baumbach was going for and what he was trying to do. The best time that we have in this movie is when we're in the supermarket, and everything else is just kind of schlag. Yeah, it's based on Don DeLillo book, and it's like, what's the cloud? It's like, what's that cloud that goes on in that movie? I forget what it is, but it's like, it's just like it's something that's like like an atom bomb going off. It's stuff that's polluting the air, and you can't be around it. I forget what it was called though. But yeah, Adam Driver was fine. Greta Gerwig, they both sounded like they were reading off of a script at times.
They're both good actors, though.
Yeah, they are. But if it sounds like you're reading off a script, it's not really working. A lot of people, message me about this movie from Worth of View Movies, and are saying that it like they didn't even get past 20 minutes. They turned it off before. There's a lot of
the whole thing.
There's a lot of overlap. I hope so. Otherwise, why would you be talking about this? There's a lot of overlapping dialogue, and it can become a little annoying and agitating. But it's definitely not what you want to see back when Noah Baumbach comes back. 5.7 on IMDb. Really low, the lowest so far. Budget of 80 million, worldwide gross $71,000. It's got to be the worst budget to gross ever. And 63% on Rotten Tomatoes with 32% audience score. Did not like. And
it's annoying because somebody super clever is in this film. One of the best, a member of one of the best hip hop duos of all time, Andre 3000.
Yeah, just really
He's
thrown
a lyrical
away.
genius. Yes, completely wasted.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't think he's that good of an actor personally.
Get out of here.
I've only seen him in one good performance, and that's Boogie Nights, because he was working under a good director. Didn't you see Space Jam 2?
Yeah, I did.
He was terrible.
Have you seen Hotel Rwanda?
I want to, because Joaquin Phoenix is in it.
Academy Award nominated movie. I think he won, maybe. Let's see what it won for Oscar.
What? Hotel Rwanda?
Yeah. Oh, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, and Best Original Screenplay. Boom, boom. But yeah, it's cool if you don't think he's a good actor. I think he's great.
I think Joaquin Phoenix is better.
That's fair.
Right. And Angela Bassett and Tony Leung are both better than Don Cheadle. That's fair enough.
I think you're right on one account.
Well, what's your issue with Tony Leung? Do you have a
I don't have an issue.
And you throw the darts at his face.
I don't have an issue with him at all. I just I think you are overhyping him right now.
You've not seen In the Mood for Love. What's In the Mood for Love? And you'll have a different opinion on him.
Speaking of overhype and overrated, this movie I don't get. I mean, I get it as a movie. I just don't understand why people like it so much. I know you're a huge fan of this movie. Definitely going to be in your top 10. Won't even make my top 50 of the year. This is based off of First View. Didn't enjoy it. And I don't get why it is being so praised and nominated.
Don't say it.
Decision to leave.
Oh, I thought you were going to say All Quiet on the Western Front then.
No,
Cody.
No, you know I like that movie. But no, this is just a movie.
It's better. Judge, I've seen it twice. It's better on the second watch because you focus on the perfection of the director.
Well, I can't base every movie off of 2 viewings because then I would never get any new movies watched. But look, if on the first viewing I have this feeling about it, I doubt that I'm going to have a better feeling about it on the second viewing.
Didn't you listen? Didn't you watch my review of Eternal Sunshine? I didn't like it the first time. I gave it a second chance, and now I love the movie.
We're not talking about that right now.
I'm just saying.
Hey, look, I could change my mind, but all I'm talking about right now in this moment is the most overrated movies for me in 2022. Okay, and this movie to me is overrated. I'm trying to talk about it.
So what did you like about this movie?
We've seen this before. It's just done in another language. This is about a detective who's investigating a death. And then meets his wife, and then stuff happens with them. This is very boring. The dialogue was whatever. It's just stuff that we've seen before, just done with, an Asian led group and director, which is fine. But give me something original, give me something fresh, give me something new. Just Drive My Car was something like that. Parasite is something like that. This movie could have been so much better, and it's just trying to rely on how stylish it is, but we've seen that before, and it just really, really fell flat. And after watching it, I was like, why does Rob like this movie so much? But you're not the only one, because it will be up for Best International Feature at the Oscars, no doubt. It's already been nominated for a lot of other awards. Um, but yeah, to me, when you have great masterpieces like Parasite, I think you should try to live up to that.
Can I
And if
just
you
say
can't,
one thing? The director of Decision to Leave and the director of Parasite are two completely different people.
no, I know. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why they're different movies.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed those movies over this one
Have you
way
seen any
more.
of Have you seen any of Park Chan Wook's other movies?
I don't know. Probably not.
You, Surely you've
But
seen Handmaiden. That only came out a few years ago.
no, I haven't seen it.
Surely you've seen Old Boy if you've seen the remake.
Nope, I haven't seen that one either.
Fair enough.
I love the remake,
Then you'll love the
but
original even more.
that's
I,
not true.
I've seen that Tom Hanks baseball film now, so you can watch any film I recommend.
No, 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 no. I mean, you can recommend it. I can just take a year to watch it, because that's how long it took you to watch that movie. But yeah, I know I'm in the minority. I don't care. I didn't like the ending either. It actually made weird no sense. But yeah, it's fine. Not
No. I
what
completely understand the ending. Yeah, I just thought this film was really well directed from somebody who has worked hard throughout the industry, and somebody who's never really been given acclaim compared to other directors. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of other directors that don't ever get the attention, like Spielberg or what's his name, James Cameron.
do you think that this guy should be up for Best Director?
Oh, 100%. Even if that's the only award it's nominated for, besides Best International
And
Film.
yeah, it'll definitely be up for Best International. But
Like of all the awards I nominated Decision to Leave for, I'm glad the one it won for me was Best Director.
yeah, I mean, it's possible that he could be up for Best Director, but
Yeah,
I think
I thought
it's fine.
the production design and the cinematography was really well done.
7.3 on IMDb. Nice and high there. $10 million budget, 22.4 million worldwide gross. And I'm sure that Rotten Tomatoes loves it. 93% with an audience score of 87.
Do you not like Alfred Hitchcock?
I mean, I'm not familiar with, I've seen maybe a handful of his movies.
Does this movie reminded me of a Hitchcock movie?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is your number one?
The movie that defeated Decision to Leave at the Golden Globes, Argentina, 1985.
You're ridiculous.
I'm not ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
How did you not like Argentina 1985?
I just didn't find it interesting. I like history. Argentina have done nothing against me. Okay, I know there was a conflict between Britain and Argentina, but that was years ago. I'm still open to introduce. I'm still open to learn about Argentina, and I will check out more Argentinian film. But this one just wasn't for me. I like the cinematography. I thought the two blokes playing the reporters were fantastic, but I just found the story not engaging. Like, it was a well-made movie, and it wouldn't be in my top bottom 10, but it just didn't feel like a movie that was made for me.
I'm gonna be you right now. Don't you like courtroom dramas, Rob?
Of course, I love courtroom dramas, but you know, it didn't have the sharp dialogue that Aaron Sorkin had.
Yeah.
And I just kind of just felt like something was missing from that movie.
What do you think was missing?
To make it a bit more engaging. Like, I don't know. I just didn't really think much of this one, and I'm probably not the only person to say. Like I said, interesting concept, interesting culture, just was not the movie for me.
Apparently, the main character, Ricardo Darin, he's like a huge actor. Apparently, everyone like loves this guy.
Well, a bit like the two blokes Samara Ra were their big actors in India.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like this movie. It was a nice period piece movie. I liked it more than Decision to Leave. That's for sure.
And I just preferred Decision to Leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, courtroom movies are always going to be difficult because it's you know,
About to
like
say another courtroom film was on my list. Courtroom dramas can go either way. They can be really engaging, or they can be really boring.
yeah, absolutely. It can be boring. This
Yeah,
one
and
had
these
enough.
two just didn't click it for me. These two on my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one had enough engaging conversation and flowed really well for me to enjoy it. The topic itself, it's not necessarily something that I really care about because I live in the States, but I care about other people, and I know that those people are not being treated well, and the people that they went after got what they deserved. So, yeah, we'll see. This one was the most critically like sought after. This was like out of all the because I try to research what's going to be up for an Oscar as early as I possibly can. In Argentina, 1981 has always been on the list. That one, Decision to Leave for sure. All Quiet on the Western Front. So we'll see. I bet those three are definitely going to be up for Oscars. But yeah, it was a surprise that it won the Golden Globe. We'll see what happens.
Did you think All Quiet was going to win?
No.
Did you think Decision to Leave was?
Yeah, I thought Decision to Leave was going to win because I don't like it. Movies that I like never win.
You didn't like Another Round?
It wasn't my favorite international film that year.
You don't like Promising Young Woman?
That's not international.
I'm just saying it won an Oscar.
No, I know. We're not. I thought we were talking internet. We're just talking about movies that are Oscar winners now.
Sorry, going back. I wasn't a fan of Drive My Car. I like Parasite and Another Round. Roma's okay. I guess it's better than Drive My Car.
What was?
Roma.
Oh, Roma. Right. Yeah. I don't know if this has much of a budget. Yeah, just gross worldwide $871,000. Doesn't say the budget. 7.7 on IMDb. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 96% audience score. That's got to be the highest so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not made for everybody. Courtroom dramas are difficult.
They are
difficult watches. Sometimes they feel like homework.
Definitely.
All right. Here we go with my number one. Very highly anticipated movie. And what people were saying afterwards, after it came out, is just I did not agree with. I mean, this is a movie made for me. It's definitely a movie made for me. And it just fell flat. Like a lot of movies in 2022 did. This one was right there with it. And it was Robert Eggers' new venture in The Northman.
Shoot, I thought you'd just say Everything Everywhere All at Once then.
No, we'll talk about that movie in a minute. But By the way, the most overrated movie that I haven't seen, Do Revenge.
I wouldn't say it's
So
overrated.
no, you guys make it overrated.
How do we make it overrated? We just like the movie.
Yeah, oh, you need to see it. You need to see it. Yeah. Anyways, this one's my
Justin
number
just doesn't
one.
like teenage girls.
Nobody should like teenage girls at my age.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, I would just wanted this movie to be so much better than it was. Robert Eggers is a great director. I
Yes.
love me some Nicole Kidman. The visuals in this movie are really interesting, and it definitely has the Robert Eggers sort of weird styling to it. Just didn't, work for me. Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe's also in it. Alexander Skarsgård is, the lead. Anya Taylor-Joy's in it. It just had all the writings of what could be a masterpiece, as you like to
On my
say, and it
third watch
just
of the movie,
fell flat.
yes, and I can see why. Because on my third watch, it just felt like it just dragged. Like you could have trimmed it shorter to make a bit
Oh
more
yeah,
space.
yes, very, very. It dragged a lot. There was some, boring parts in a Viking movie. How is there boring parts in a Viking movie? But
Mind you, the bit where he's first all grown up and they raid that village, that's awesome.
well, the production design and the action in this movie is second to none. I mean, this should be up for production design, and this should have been a part of your stunt team
It's
because
all,
they did.
it was big contender for cinematography until my third watch.
Yeah,
Maybe I should have kept this one and replaced Amsterdam in the end.
Amsterdam has great cinematography.
Oh, it does.
It's the best part about the movie.
Yeah, maybe Christian
Visually,
Bale.
it has some really good parts to this, but again, I was so hyped for this movie, and people are loving it out there. And I just think it's people are, Robert Eggers had such a great movie history that they just wanted this one to be that too. So I think they're a little bit biased. I'm not like you guys. I'll tell you if the Steven Spielberg movie is bad, right? And this one just felt
Well,
really, really flat.
Steven Spielberg has made flops. He's only human. He's not some superhuman who invents great movies. He works hard
Yes,
to
he
make them
does.
good, and sometimes he just hasn't worked hard enough.
Well, sometimes it just doesn't hit the way that it needs to. And this movie didn't either because at a $60 million budget, it only made 69.6 million. I think it had it was thinking it was going to make at least in the $100 million markings, but visually it's beautiful. Yeah, the acting was whatever, even from Nicole Kidman, who's can do
I
no
thought
wrong.
Anya Taylor-Joy was the best.
Yeah, she's all right. I think the Northman himself was the highlight, just because he, had to kill it. He had to do well. But yeah, it's too bad. I was really hoping that was going to be better than it was. And 7.1 on IMDb, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 64% audience score. I think that's where I'm living too.
You're not the only person. A couple of other people said they found it boring.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, 64%. A lot of people agree.
Yeah.
Do you have any also rants?
Just trying to look at my Letterboxd list right now.
All right, I'll talk about one that I could have put on my list, but it is a very, very, very well made film, and I don't think it's overrated or overhyped. It didn't hit the same feelers that most people think about this movie, but everything, everywhere, all at once is a really good movie. I just don't think that it's best picture worthy. I think Michelle Yeoh deserves Best Actress for sure. Great performance, and she's so badass in the movie. But we've seen Multiverse, and I know that they think that they did it better, and maybe in some ways they did. The editing's great, and visually, it's well done. There are some a little bit of boring parts, and I don't know. It's just one that it's not going to be in my top 10, and I don't know why it's in other
Oh,
people's
I
top
forgot
10.
to mention one as well, but I already mentioned it, so I left it off this list on purpose. I thought Ambulance was overrated.
I think it was rated perfectly. I enjoyed. Okay, let's run them down. What was your number 5?
Triangle of Sadness.
And I had Lightyear in that slot.
My number 4 was Where the Crawdads Sing.
I had Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
My number 3 was Hustle.
Coming in at number 3 for me is The Fablemans.
My number 2 was White Noise.
My number 2 is Decision to Leave.
And my number 1 was The Film That Beat It, Argentina 1985.
And my number 1 is The Northman.
Great.
Yeah, very good. Any movie recommendations this week?
I'm glad you asked because over the weekend I saw what I thought was an absolute perfect movie. A well-written character study, a well-driven performance, and just an overall well-directed and shot movie. Tar is my recommendation.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Kate
Good
Blanchett
pick.
pulls off my new favorite performance of hers.
Yeah, she's the movie lives or dies in her favor,
Yes,
and boy,
yes.
did
I
it
love the way
live
her
in her
character is
favor.
written as well because she doesn't feel like she's playing a woman character. She just feels like she's playing a character. But I'll tell you the one message I learned from this movie. Anybody can be bad. Because in this era, like men are like portrayed like pigs, and you see this movie about this horrible narcissistic woman, and you're just like, this is so realistic.
Yeah, it was so well done that I think people thought that Lydia Tarr is a real person, and they even like made a wiki about her. And yeah, but she's not. She's a made up person, and Kate Blanchett killed it.
I
There's a
hope she
great
wins. I hope she wins.
there's a great 10-minute or 8-minute oneer where she's just in the classroom,
Yeah.
conversating and
I've
berating.
only seen two UK 2023 releases, and that's the best one I've seen so far.
What was the other one?
I also watched Empire Light, which again has great cinematography, great score, and a fantastic performance from Olivia Colman, but it doesn't beat Tar.
Is Olivia Colman going to be up for Best Actress?
I can't see her beating Michelle or Kate Blanchett, but I will give Till a go. So it sounds like this is the new Schindler's List 12 Years a Slave kind of movie.
Till?
Yeah, because it's about so it looks like it's about sad and human rights and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
Like
you can
a
say it's
powerful movie you
Schindler's
have
List.
to watch at least once.
I mean, for Danielle Deadweiler's performance alone, it's worth the view.
Do you think she'll be a big name?
Yeah, I do.
What happened to the girl that played Billie Holiday in that movie? How come she's not a big celebrity now?
Yeah, I don't know. She's probably working on her next film. She
Probably.
was so good.
She
Andra
was.
Day.
Yeah.
All right. My recommendation of the week is a movie called Devotion. I know it looks like Maverick, guys, but it's not.
No, I've seen the trailer. It looks awesome.
This is a Korean War movie, and it's still sort of what we just talked about rights of anybody who does it who's not white. But Jonathan Majors has a scene, and it's the best performance I've seen from 2022. It is so well done.
Is he
My
the next
girlfriend.
Denzel Washington?
Oh, possibly actually. Uh, my girlfriend didn't watch the movie with me, but I said, watch this scene. And she watched it, and we both like couldn't breathe afterwards because of how good it was. And then the very next day we talked, and she's like, I can't stop thinking about that scene. And so it's just so well done. And and then the rest of the movie is really good too. You know, it's actually there is some similarity to Maverick. Not only is Glenn Powell in both, but
Yeah.
you're living up in the air with them, flying around. It has a lot of heart. It's very very sweet, and it just hit me on all the feels in all the right way. And Jonathan Majors is a damn star. So I recommend Devotion.
He is. He is. I can't wait to see him in Ant-Man and Creed 3 this year.
Mm-mm-mm. Love me some Jonathan Majors.
See, he'll win an Oscar one day.
Yeah, he was
He's,
the best part of Loki.
but he wasn't the best in the Five Bloods.
Yeah. Chadwick.
That went well.
Oh,
That went to Dalroy.
yeah, Delroy probably.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we are doing what next week?
The
BAFTA?
BAFTA nominations.
Boom, boom. That sounds great. And
But
then I think we should,
we'll do underrated movies soon.
yeah. But before the month ends, we should do our favorite of 2022.
Yes, yes. I think Cody wanted to do that with us, and so did another person. So
Cool.
yes, we'll try to do a big one for that.
Well, if there's 4 people on a stream, we should only do 5. But if there's 3, we can probably get away with 10.
Okay.
And for sure, 2 of us can do 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, sounds good. Next week,
And
BAFTAs.
this time you have to do a full 10. You can't just say you do 10, I'll do 5.
Well, I didn't because it was the worst ones, right? I didn't have 10.
What for 2022? 6 months? You couldn't think of 10 movies?
That are bad?
You
It
only
was. It
thought of
was.
9.
I know. I could. Yeah. I mean, it's. Dog was a bad movie.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that one. But you see, what I do, Justin, is I rank all my films I watch from every year on Letterboxd.
Well, I
So I
rank
always
it
have a.
on my own box. I
You
don't need to
just write.
share that.
You just write films on a box.
Yeah, yeah, it's called my cell phone. But yeah, I don't want people to know what my favorite of the year is without me like doing a video about it first. No way.
Fair enough.
No way.
Each their own, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. All right. You can find me at Worth of You Movies on all the
Yes,
things. Go
right.
check it
Check him
out.
out on Worth to View Movies. Also follow him on TikTok. He can't go live on TikTok yet.
I've been doing favorites or what my favorite or best of 2022 is.
Are you
We'll
planning
probably
to do stunt team? You should do your top 5 stunts.
maybe. I just did best hair and makeup. I'm not putting them in any order. And then the next one I'm releasing today is favorite costumes of 2022.
Ooh. I'm hoping
Go check that out.
I'm hoping some of the Fleming nominations are in that.
There might be. And can they find you, Rob?
You can find me at robbiesreviews.co.uk. I haven't really been writing much reviews, so I've got other projects on in the work, which I will announce at a later date. And but yeah, you can find me at Robbie's Reviews. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Letterboxd, and Instagram. You name it, I have it.
There you go. And here we go. We will do all this again next week.
Yes.
Comment and let us know your most overrated movies of 2022 right down there. Let us know. We want to see. Of course. And until then.
Until then. Bye, Justin.
Later, buddy. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.